$44.8 billion for mayonnaise and garlic powder. Tell me McCormick didn't massively overpay.
Oh, come on. You're ignoring the sheer scale of the Unilever Foods portfolio. It's a pure margin play.
My inner banker just hates paying a premium for slow-growth grocery brands. They bit off way more than they can chew.
Really? A chewing pun?
I had to.
Well, regulators might choke on it first. Mid-2027 is a wildly optimistic closing date, assuming the FTC even lets this happen. The rundown. I just cannot picture the Danone executive board drinking Huel.
Oh, they absolutely aren't. But for $1 billion, they will happily sell it to every coding bootcamp grad in Silicon Valley.
It is a smart play to bulk up the nutrition portfolio, but $1 billion for powdered meals? The margins better be spectacular.
Speaking of spectacular, GIP and EQT are teaming up to take down AES Corp, $33.4 billion.
Infrastructure is just eating the world right now.
It is the ultimate safe haven. You get two mega sponsors pooling capital because no single fund wants to swallow a $33 billion pill alone. Classic risk syndication.
Risk syndication? You are using your banker voice again.
I'm just saying it makes sense. Split the check, split the risk.
I completely disagree. I think it is a massive overpay. Look at AES's debt load. That $33.4 billion gets heavy real fast. They are paying a premium for grid assets that need billions in upgrades. I read the CapEx projections, Nate.
You always hate the CapEx projections?
Because they always hide the real costs in the footnotes.
Fair, let's pivot to something cooler. Literally. Ecolab is buying Cool-It Systems for $4.75 billion.
Liquid cooling for data centers. That is actually brilliant. Everyone is chasing AI chips, but the real bottleneck is keeping the servers from melting. Ecolab already does water treatment, so now they own the plumbing inside the server racks.
See? You can like a deal.
I like deals that make strategic sense.
What about the beauty aisle? Gossip Mill says Estée Lauder and Puig are getting very close on a massive stock-based combination.
Stock-based? Of course. Estée Lauder is using whatever currency they have left before their valuation drops further.
If they pull it off, every luxury cosmetics brand is going to panic buy someone else by Christmas. Huge consolidation wave.
I will believe it when I see the term sheet. Right now it is just bankers leaking to the press to force a move.
Well, if you want a real term sheet, we have a $44.8 billion one sitting right in front of us.
The flavor merger. McCormick swallowing Unilever Foods.
It is going to completely rewire the grocery store aisles. The big one. $44.8 billion for mayo and black pepper.
That is exactly what this is. McCormick is swallowing Unilever Foods whole.
Look, I love this deal. It is the ultimate pantry play. If you open any kitchen cabinet in America, Europe, basically anywhere on Earth, you are looking at this combined company. Knorr, Bouillon, Hellmann's, French's, Mustard, Old Bay. It is a literal monopoly on flavor.
A monopoly on flavor is exactly what the FTC and the European Commission are going to call it. Did you see the expected closing date buried in the second paragraph?
Mid-2027.
Mid-2027. Nate, that is a full 3 years from now. You don't put a 3-year timeline on a Tuesday morning press release unless your antitrust lawyers are already crying in a windowless conference room.
Oh, come on. They're just managing expectations. They have to clear regulators in dozens of jurisdictions. Food deals always get heavily scrutinized right now because politicians want to blame someone for grocery inflation.
It's not just managing expectations, it's a massive red flag on execution risk. Unilever has been trying to carve out its food division for years to focus on beauty and personal care. McCormick just handed them the ultimate bailout, $44.8 billion. I read the investor presentation this morning. McCormick is paying a premium for legacy grocery brands that are barely squeezing out 2% organic growth.
You're just looking at the stand-alone growth. You have to look at the distribution network. McCormick gets to push its high-margin spices through Unilever's massive global grocery relationships. It is a textbook cross-selling synergy.
Spoken like a true former banker. Textbook cross-selling synergy. Please, tell me how you cross-sell vanilla extract with mayonnaise.
Put Old Bay in the Hellmann's. I'm telling you, I would buy that right now.
Okay, I actually would buy that too. That sounds amazing on a sandwich. But seriously, look at the financing risk. If they're locked in regulatory purgatory for 36 months, the macro environment could completely flip before this closes.
They've got the break fee structured to protect them. But you're right, 3 years is an eternity in M&A. Still, for Unilever, this is a clean break. They get the cash, they get out of the slow growth food aisle, and they can finally go head to head with the big dogs in personal care.
Which is exactly why Unilever is the real winner here. They dumped their slow growth anchor and walked away with nearly $45 billion. McCormick gets the flashy headline, but Unilever gets the strategic flexibility.
I'll concede that Unilever timed this perfectly, but don't count McCormick out. When you control the base ingredients for literally every restaurant and home kitchen, you have absolute pricing power. And right now, pricing power is everything.
We'll see if the regulators agree with your pricing power thesis in 2027.
Speaking of massive consumer combinations and personal care pivots, my phone has been blowing up all morning about what is happening over in the luxury beauty sector.
You mean the Estee Lauder and Puig whispers? Because I have some serious questions about how that stock-based math actually works. Voices.
I'm looking right at the UBS note from this morning, and they are practically doing cartwheels over Cintas.
Calling it a compelling buy.
Exactly. They're saying UniFirst's latest results just completely validate the upside of that $5.5 billion merger.
See, I read that same note and my takeaway was totally different. UBS is taking a victory lap, but UniFirst's margins are actually pretty flat right now. Cintas is buying scale, sure, but I'm not convinced the synergies materialize as fast as the sell side thinks.
Spoken like a true skeptic. Fine, let's talk about a deal where the analysts are actually sweating. Gilead just extended their tender offer for Arcellx again.
Yeah, market watchers are calling it strategic delays. I call it they found something in the data room they don't like.
Oh, come on. You always assume the worst. It's a complex biotech deal. The regulatory hurdles alone take months to untangle. Gilead is just pacing the transaction so they don't trip over the FTC.
Pacing? Nate, you don't keep extending a tender offer unless something is actively stuck. I bet you a coffee there's a footnote dropping next week about a clinical trial timeline.
I'll take that bet. I think they're just haggling over retention packages for the key scientists.
We'll see. Speaking of haggling, did you catch the whisper numbers on Estee Lauder and Puig?
The beauty gossip, yes.
Rumor is they're advancing talks for a massive combination. Mostly stock.
A stock deal makes perfect sense right now. Estee Lauder needs a shot of adrenaline, and Puig has all the premium fragrance momentum. It's like mixing a classic vintage wine with a Red Bull.
Gross analogy, but accurate. If they actually pull off a stock merger of that size, every luxury cosmetic brand is going to scramble. The consolidation wave would be ridiculous.
Hide your expensive perfumes. But look, if we want to talk about ridiculously massive combinations that are actually happening.
Oh, you mean the $44 billion elephant in the grocery aisle?
Exactly. We need to talk about McCormick swallowing Unilever Foods. Spill the tea. I am telling you, the whisper numbers on this Estee Lauder and Puig combination are getting extremely loud. If they actually pull off a stock-based merger, the entire luxury beauty sector is going to panic buy every indie brand in sight.
Okay, wait. Puig literally just went public a few months ago. Why would the controlling family immediately turn around and do a massive stock swap with Estee Lauder? Lauder's stock has been absolutely hammered for 2 years.
Because it is a defensive masterpiece. You have L'Oreal eating everyone's lunch. Puig has the high-end fragrance momentum. Lauder has the global distribution network. You staple them together and suddenly you have a fortress.
A fortress built on very wobbly equity. I read the rumors floating around this morning. A primarily stock-based deal when your currency is at multi-year lows is just terrible corporate finance. It screams desperation.
Desperation drives the best deals, Maya. Look at the premium fragrances. That is where the margin is right now. I would gladly take battered Lauder stock if it means I get to own the next decade of luxury perfume.
You wear a $20 body spray, Nate. You are not exactly the target demographic for a $300 bottle of niche cologne.
It is $30 and it gets compliments from my mother mostly, but still.
Incredible. If you want actual drama though, stop looking at perfume rumors and look at Gilead Sciences. They just extended their tender offer for Arcellx again.
Oh, that is getting very messy.
Super messy. Market watchers are finally waking up to it. You do not just extend a tender offer multiple times unless there are some serious complexities in the background, or regulators are asking very uncomfortable questions. We really need to watch those filings tomorrow.
I bet we see another amendment hit the wire before the week is out. Which actually reminds me, speaking of swallowing, things that might cause severe indigestion.
Are we finally talking about the $44.8 billion elephant in the grocery aisle?
We are. McCormick is trying to swallow Unilever Foods, and I have some serious questions about that valuation. Tomorrow's radar. So tomorrow morning, I'm just sitting here refreshing the SEC feed for Gilead. They extended that tender offer for Arcellx again.
Right. The market watchers are whispering about complex strategic delays. But honestly, Nate, look at the actual timeline. It's just standard regulatory friction. They're crossing T's.
Standard friction? Maya, you don't extend a tender offer like this just to check a box. My banker sense is tingling. Someone is finding skeletons in the clinical data.
Oh, come on. Skeletons? You always want these things to be a corporate thriller. It's probably just a delayed antitrust clearance in one random European market.
Fine, ruin my fun. But while you're reading boring antitrust filings, I'm watching the beauty aisle. Estee Lauder and Puig.
Wait, really? The Spanish fragrance guys?
Exactly. Rumors they're advancing talks on a massive stock combination. We could see a full-blown luxury cosmetics arms race by Friday.
An all-stock deal with these valuations. Now that's actually wild. Let me pull Puig's last earnings report before we talk about McCormick trying to swallow Unilever.